Good morning, everybody. Today is November 15th, 2025. So my garden's kind of scattered everywhere. I was going to try to mow the lawn, but it started to rain this week, so kind of pause on it a little bit. But I do have a lot of things that are pretty much asleep already. Some of them are still producing fruit. So this is a Suriname cherry planted from 3 or 4 years ago. It is finally producing fruits, good fruits. I like it. Here's a red jaboticaba flowering and fruiting. This is a fig cutting I got from a buddy a couple years ago. You can see it's producing fruit. And all of this is volunteer sweet potato leaves. I'm gonna keep pulling them out. I gotta find out where it's growing from. Otherwise, it's just gonna continue to push leaves. So, right here is the Kaffir lime. I forgot Morkat lime. Right here is another Suriname cherry seedling. This is a Barbados cherry. It's doing well. My golden nugget. So I have a few more fruits than I did last year. Last year I only had one because that's all that's set. And so this year I have maybe about 5 or 6. I did have one here, but it looks like the rat ate it. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to protect it so it's not being consumed by the rats. Here's an Asian pear. It didn't flower this year. Strangely enough, about last month they started to produce a couple flowers, but none of them set. This is a multi-variety Asian pear. I need to go ahead and find a spot to put it in the ground. Over there in the back is jeez, I forgot. Here is a Grimel jaboticaba. You can see these little nodes are flower buds, and when they set fruit, that is what they will look like. I have 2 of them in 25-gallon. This is the second one that I put in the ground or in the pot last month, and so hopefully I can get it to produce fruit just like the other one. I'll show you guys later. Now, if you notice, I just moved some pots, and you can see these are larvae of the June bugs, the fig beetles, and so these guys will wreak havoc on your plant's roots. So if you find them, you get to see a lot of videos where, yeah, it's summer and peaking and everything's growing. But let's show you guys a side of the cooler autumn winter seasons. So this is a air layered lemon from my old house from 3 years ago. It was in the ground. I just recently dug it up last week. It wasn't as happy as how it was last year. It had a lot more leaves, and so I actually had some tangerines, scions grafted onto it. It produced tons of flowers, but none of them set. So we'll dig it out. We planted this ponkan, or not ponkan. This is a shiranui, aka sumo mandarin. We'll see how well this does. And I've got just a whole bunch of other plants that are here in the background. A couple of figs right there. This is gem avocado. A couple lime trees over there. Some grafted cherimoyas. That's a jaboticaba. This is a pomegranate. And I got some sweet potatoes over here. Over here is some blood oranges. I planted this in the ground maybe sometime summertime. And here is my gem avocado. So if you notice, this one is about the same age as this guy, maybe a year younger. And so this shows you the difference between planting it in the ground versus keeping it in the pot. And so this thing is growing nuts. So gem avocados tend to be bushier. I will need to prune it because it's getting out of control. But it produces a lot of fruit, kind of like this reed. But the reed, however, will grow tall, maybe about 30 to 50 feet tall, and produce nice round-sized fruits. But the downside of that one is that it takes about 12 to 16 months for it from fruit set to ripening. So if you're gonna have a reed, you need to have another variety. This is the gem. This is a Suriname cherry, black Suriname cherry I got maybe from Arizona 6-7 years ago. Produced flowers, but none of them ever set, and so I dug it up, potted it up, because it just does not do well right now. Surprisingly, like I mentioned, my 4-year-old seedling is producing fruits sooner than the bigger. This is a Pierce Cherimoya. A buddy of mine, Mike in Montclair, was making some space for his renovation, and so he dug up this one. You can see that it's really not straight. Part of it is the roots were just too crazy, and I really need to get it in the ground or in a 45-gallon pot. So typically something this big, you want to go ahead and let it rest, let it recuperate and recover. But this spring I went ahead and did graft onto it. So this is the actual fruit. Again, this is Pierce, I believe. But in the meantime, I went ahead and grafted a couple of different varieties, Super Citifal, and I believe this is an Indian variety. And you can see they are doing well, the grafts. Fruit sets here, a couple more flowers, and stuff that I didn't even pollinate, so it's still growing. This, I believe, is Pink's Mammoth. And this is just more of the rootstock. So sometime next year, I'm going to go ahead and chop off all these other branches and then put something else here. Over here we have is our multi-grafted Cherimoya. It's got AP, African Pride, the more common variety. I've got some other varieties that I went ahead and got from nursery in the Temecula area. Arminio had some pretty cool varieties, so I grafted some of those. But you can see the African Pride just grows really more vigorous. The graft side is somewhere around here, and all of this is just AP. And you can see I've got a few fruits here and there, none that I pollinated. So, and we shall again trim this one because some of the varieties are going to get out of hand if I don't do it, and the others will fall behind. Oh, let's see. Over here is I got my Lakatan banana. Doing well, not as well as I wanted to do. Gonna go ahead and probably put more nitrogen in here to get it to go. You can see some blackberries. Some I didn't get to harvest, so they're just there on the ground. I'm just letting this grow wherever it wants to grow. So this is Savannah cherry, and this is cherry of the Rio Grande, right next to a banana, which I don't remember. It's either praying hands or Paisang Ceylon. Got some jaboticabas there. I got some, what do you call this? Prickly pear. Banana. This is my sugar. My honey jar, jujube. It is going into the dormant phase. You can see it's lost all of its leaves, and it will actually look like it's dead all winter until springtime, and you'll see it take off. This is another rare jaboticaba. This one's called GRC, giant red crystal. You can see I've got some stray dragon fruits. I put them in 1-gallon pots, and I completely forget about them, and they're growing crazy all over the place. This one is the giant Yucatan Atimoya. This guy I will need to go ahead and put in the ground somewhere. So green Granny Smith. Looks like I already lost one apple there. Let's go ahead and harvest this last one here. This was my first and only Granny Smith. Looks like someone beat me to it there. This is my Asian pear, multi variety. So this is Shinseki, and then I've got a couple here, Korean giant scions that is doing well, but really not producing any fruits because it needs 700 chill hours, and so I would be lucky if I get 400 chill hours here. So I grafted it anyway. Here's one scion right here, and the other one is somewhere here mixed up. But it gave me small fruits, just like the apple. Didn't really ripen well, so we'll see what happens. I may dig it up. This is the Chica Sapodilla seedling. I've had this for about 6 years already. Plus or minus the 4 years at my uncle's house. This is a seedling, so it may take 10 to 15 years for it to produce fruit. This is my Black Madeira KK fig. It's growing everywhere. I got a lot of fruits from it. I also gave a lot of fruits to the rats, and so it was a constant battle trying to harvest it when it was ripe. So first they were eating the ones that were near ripe, and then at some point they started to just eat whatever was on the tree. So I will go ahead and try to air layer this, because if I don't trim this year, it will go crazy and go out of hand. So this is my longan. I forgot which varietal maybe. This is my Doan longan. This is a seedling variety. I don't get any fruits this year, so we'll consider digging it out, planting it somewhere else, or just leaving it be and see maybe if I can give it some more flowering, more phosphorus, because maybe it was competing with the fig tree. And I also have this Sri Champu longan. I may dig this one out for sure. I've got some more rare jaboticabas that are here growing. These are special. Not too many people have them. This is an M4 mango. You can see protecting the fruit so the rats don't get it before I do. Another Grimel jaboticaba. All of my Grimel jaboticabas I've have like 5 or 6. I have finally woken up and starting to produce fruit. So this is my blood tangerine. It was doing well, and then for some reason it started to just die back down. So hoping it will do better. This is my tiger fig. It gave me a good amount of fruits, and so I was happy with this one. Again, just like all figs, you really need to trim it, otherwise it can get out of hand. So this is my peach cobbler mango. Same story. Winds knocked down the fruitlets, and so I didn't get any fruits this year. So this is an M4 mango. This is a Sabara jaboticaba, multi-grafted. I put it in the ground maybe about June or July, 6-7. You can see it's got some fruits, and it's actually pushing more flowers. So it's something that produces fruit all year. I think I have a scarlet sign here that I grafted, but I could be wrong. Oh, here's one, scarlet. You can see the leaves are different, but no flowers quite yet. So finger lime, some more sumo mandarins, and we'll pause for now. So over here I've got some more jaboticabas. This one's a red sugar apple. This is a cherry lata that I need to put in a larger pot or find a spot in the ground. Got some figs here. Got some mangoes. Got Indian jujubes that my buddy Kyle sent me from Arizona. It's a rooted cutting, and it's producing tons of flowers and fruit. So excited about that. Lisa Pride, Atemoya. This is, let's see, which mango is this? Kathoalak. Another Grimel jaboticaba that is flowering and producing. Over here is the CC Love mango in a 7-gallon pot. Pimson Moon. This is Ivory mango. Yellow dragon fruit. Forgot which rare mango this is, but got some pineapples ready to go. Got my apple bitter melon. I believe this is an Otto Anderson jaboticaba. This is a Grimel jaboticaba. fruited last year, but didn't do anything this year. But it looks like it's now waking up. So red jaboticaba, same thing. Didn't do anything last year, but producing fruits finally this year. Got a nice handful full of fruits. You can see it's pushing more flowers. This is another cherry lime mango, or Atemoya. This is a Filipino Indian mango. So good. My jaboticaba. I think I showed this earlier. This is my sweet Persian lime, right next to Big Sister. And these yellow dragon fruits are just going crazy. So I gotta put them in 5-gallon pots and maybe put them up for sale. This is a surprise avocado. This is a Sabor with multi-variety cherimoya. This is a Lucida. And this is a Lisa. Lisa is multi-grafted. This is a Azusa mango. This is a Pierce multi-grafted, and that's an Orton right there. And so I've just got tons of cherimoyas. This is a variegated red jaboticaba. No flowers just yet. Miracle fruit. A lot of fruits just falling off. Look at that. Not even ready, but a lot more. And here is my raw honey mango. You can see it is producing new growth and flushing with flowers. I don't know why, but we shall see how this goes. No fruits this year, oddly enough. And back there is a curry. Here's my finger lime and another miracle fruit over there. Calamansi, Pitangatuba, Valex Cherry Mango. This is a blood orange. This is African Pride Atemoya. Some bare layers of Calamansi, red jaboticaba. This is my strongest red. Produced a lot of fruits from top to bottom, and you can see there's a lot more pushing through. This one I believe is a Blancavino. The fruits kind of got burnt out in the sun last week, so I didn't get a chance to harvest it. There was no canopy over it and it was getting direct sun, but you can see it's pushing some more flowers. This is the first year fruiting. Really good fruit. And here is finally my African Pride. I've got a few fruit sets here. I just can't see it right now. Oh, here's one. This is a champagne cherry, I believe, right next to a golden nugget that barely has any leaves and is recovering. And for some reason, these guys are starting to push flowers, which it shouldn't. See, there's a flower right there. And this one is the Royal Crimson cherry. I tried to air layer it, but it didn't work. So I cut off the top because it was like 15 feet in the air. But you can see these guys, looks like they're starting to push flower buds already, which I don't want it. Miracle fruit right there. Some ginger. Forgot Fralin mango. Not really happy. Maybe repot it. And this is my Grimo jaboticaba. You can see the inconsistent watering. This is what happens when the watering is not consistent. As with most fruits, they start to pop off like this and split open. So watering is key. You got to consistently water. That's why a lot of people have drip irrigation, so you know how much water it's getting every day. And you can see this guy is like not even purple yet. It's supposed to be dark purple, but it's already splitting. So yeah, this is my garden, and hopefully I get to enjoy more of it daily. and be able to come out here and harvest whenever I want. Last but not least, this is my tangerine. I dug this up from someone's yard. They just moved in there Memorial weekend, so 5 months later, 6 months later, this is how it looks. A buddy of mine, Tim, we spent 8 hours digging this baby up, and I made a 4x4 or maybe even bigger raised bed, dug about 3 feet down, and so I've just been composting a whole bunch of stuff, so that's doing well. I do really need to cut off those branches there because I don't want it anything lower than right here. So this one I don't mind too much, but yeah, I wanted to grow up here on top. I actually tried to air layer or graft some stuff on here, but it didn't do well, so we'll see how it goes. But you can see that they got hit by leaf miners really hard, so but long story short, she's alive, and hopefully in the next year it can next couple of years it can grow better and produce a whole bunch of fruits. So again, this is my garden. Thanks for watching.